Okay, you're ready to go.
All righty. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Estimate and Apportionment for Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. Ms. Shannon Davis, please call the roll.
Mayor Jones,
Present.
Comptroller Green,
Here.
President Green,
Present.
all are present.
Great. Items presented for the first time on our agenda are as follows. Number 1, request from the Comptroller's Office for approval of contracts and leases for various city departments as listed on Exhibit A. Item number 2, request from the Comptroller's Office for approval of intra-departmental and interdepartmental transfers from various city departments as listed on Exhibit B. Item number 3, request from the Comptroller's Office for approval of transfers between projects for capital improvement funds as listed on Exhibit C. Item number 4, request from the Mayor's Office, Director of Operations for approval to pay an invoice in the amount of $19,054 to the National League of Cities for annual membership dues from Fund 1000, Department 190000, account number 565600. Item number 5, request from City Emergency Management Agency's Commissioner for approval of board bill number to be determined to accept hazard mitigation grant program funding up to $697,678.87 pursuant to a grant agreement with the State of Missouri Emergency Management Agency. Item number 6, request from the St. Louis Development Corporation's Vice President of Economic Development Incentives for approval of board bill number 139, authorizing the city to enter into an industrial development revenue bond transaction to facilitate personal property tax exemption on project equipment and sales and use tax exemption on construction materials at 4140 Forest Park Avenue. Item number 7, request from the St. Louis Development Corporation's Vice President of Economic Development Incentives for approval of board bill number 140, authorizing and directing the issuance and delivery of one or more series of tax increment revenue notes in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $4 million plus costs of issuance. Item number 8, request from the Community Development Administration's Executive Director for approval of board bill number 141, a competitive lead hazard reduction grant in the amount of $3,606,493 received from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Item number 9, request from St. Louis Lambert International Airport Director for approval of board bill number 142, authorizing and directing the Director of Airports, President of the Board of Public Service, and the Comptroller of the City of St. Louis to execute the amended and restated memorandum of agreement between Southwest Airlines Company and the City of St. Louis, Missouri. Item number 10, request from the Comptroller's Office Deputy Comptroller for permission to securely destroy federal grants records dated 2010 through 2019. These records are within Local Records and Retention Schedule GS Code guidelines and are beyond the required audit period. The obligations of both the Records Retention Law and Sunshine Law have been met. Item number 11, request from St. Louis Lambert International Airport Procurement Purchasing Manager 2 for permission to securely destroy records from various airport departments that have reached their retention period for disposal and are eligible for destruction in accordance with the State of Missouri record retention requirements. Item number 12, request from the St. Louis Agency on Training and Employment's Executive Director for permission to securely destroy participant files for various programs. These records have reached their retention period and are eligible for destruction in accordance with the State of Missouri record retention requirements. Item number 13, request from the St. Louis Agency on Training and Employment Executive Director for permission to securely destroy participant files for various adult worker programs. These records have reached their retention period and are eligible for destruction in accordance with the State of Missouri record retention requirements. Item number 14, request from the Director of Personnel for approval of the following changes to their table of organization in Fund 1111. Delete 1 program specialist position, add 1 human resources specialist position. Item number 15, request from the Director of Personnel for approval of the following changes to their table of organization in Fund 1000. Delete 4 Administrative Assistant 2 positions, add 2 Human Resources Specialist positions, add 2 Human Resources Specialist Senior positions, delete 1 Human Resources Specialist position, add 1 Human Resources Specialist Senior position, delete 1 Human Resources Generalist Senior position, add 1 HRIS Analyst position. That's our agenda as follows. I'll entertain a motion to approve today's agenda.
Madam Mayor, if I may, I'd like to divide out a few of the items and ask for a call for a motion to approve those that are not part. So I would like to approve items 1 through 5, 8, 9, 11 through 15.
That is 1 through 5, 8 and 9, and 11 through 15. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Ms. Shannon Davis, please call the roll.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Comptroller Green,
Aye.
President Green.
Aye.
All are in favor.
Now I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the other items on the agenda, which were items, Shannon, were you keeping contact 6 through?
Madam Mayor, if I may, items 6 and 7, as well as item number 10. And Madam Mayor, if I may, I would like to amend item 10 at this time. Item 10 is from the Comptroller's Office. We noticed that we have dated the records for destruction dated 2010 to 2019. We would like to correct that and make that 2010 to 2017.
Okay. There's a motion for an amendment on item 10 and approval of items 6 and 7. Is that correct?
No, ma'am. We're going to take item 10, and then I would like to discuss item 6 and 7. So I would offer a motion after the amendment for item 10. So if we can take up item 10 now and for amendment, and then we'll take up item 6 and 7 together.
Okay, so your motion as restated is to amend item 10 to reflect item years 2010 through 2017. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, it's been properly moved. Is there a second for item number 10?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to amend item 10. Ms. Shannon Davis, please call the roll.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Comptroller Green,
Aye.
President Green.
Aye.
All are in favor.
Okay. Remaining items on the agenda are 6 and 7.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to move to approve items 6 and 7 with the discussion.
Okay, is there a second to approve items 6 and 7?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. We have invited representatives regarding this particular development to give us some information that I believe the community has been requesting to hear. Some of the information that the community wanted to hear about came out in the HUD's meeting, and now they have notified us that there are other things that they're interested in hearing about. The community has stated that this is a good project and they want this. However, the fact that the board bills have been presented without a community benefits agreement, and that fact has been noted. And so I'd like to have the discussion regarding that, as well as other economic benefits that this particular longstanding project, I believe this is phase 4. for this project. And so I would like those who are invited here, Charles Salisbury, Mark Spikerman, and others to chime in where you see fit to discuss these concerns from the community.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. This is Charles Salisbury from Salisbury and Associates. We've been assigned by the Comptroller's Office to assist this project, or these projects, I should say, and it has been our pleasure and honor to do so. I think that the concept of economic impact of this project is one that we've seen over a period of time to be profound and to be impactful not only of its area, but of the surrounding area and the city of St. Louis in general. But more specifically, if we could ask the representative from the Cortex communities to speak about the economic impact and their view of the entering into an agreement. I think that would be a good approach here, if it's okay with the committee.
I'll allow it, but please make it quick.
Thank you, Mr. Salisbury, and thank you, Comptroller Green. My name is Sam Fiorello, and I serve as President and CEO of the Cortex Innovation District. And we are involved in a project trying to retain a company that is the offspring of some technology that came out of Washington University Medical School. That company has a presence in Cortex. It's a small presence. It's been here for a while. They've had a breakthrough in their technology. It's like a technology which is a test to determine if Alzheimer drugs are working. We are in a competition with two other municipalities to capture that growth of that company, Chicago and Boulder, Colorado. And so we are working on a package to help offset infrastructure costs in a new building or a renovated building at Cortex. And we've asked to deploy $4 million of our TIF package to help offset the expenses of the lab fit out and some of the lab infrastructure, and also for some Chapter 100 tax abatement on personal property, the laboratory equipment, which could be quite expensive. This is a part of a program which was given to Cortex and starting in 2014, and we've used several times to help us with infrastructure improvements. First large tranche, Madam Comptroller, was to upgrade the sewer lines along Duncan Avenue to help make it more suitable for lab and office. But we've used them in a host of things. Over the years, we've kept track of the economic benefit in terms of net new taxes generated. We provided to the TIF Commission, the HUD's committee, and then the Aldermanic Board a sheet that shows net tax impacts to different taxing agencies. And one example we highlighted was for the St. Louis Public Schools, the net new taxes because of Cortex's activities associated with our TIF usage is over 16.5 million. The number is 16.67 million. And so it's been accretive for the city of St. Louis. It's been over 31 million and on and on. So it's adding not only economic vibrancy to the city, jobs, wealth creation, and a whole host of things that we believe are center to Cortex's mission to help to accelerate an inclusive economy in our city and region.
Thank you for that. Any other comments regarding economic benefit? As I understood, you're saying that 31 million in total overall, and I'm imagining that would be for the from the initiation of the Cortex up through now. Is this correct?
The time period, Madam Comptroller, is from the initiation of the TIF package, so 2014 to today, a decade.
2014.
And that 31 million is just for the city, and those are net new taxes. And like I said, we highlighted a St. Louis Public Schools impact because we are quite aware that that is an important investment in our community, and that net new taxes there is over 16.5 million in net new taxes. The building that we're talking about here has not generated taxes many, many years. Goodwill Industry held it. It's a building built in 1919 and was for the last decade virtually dormant. we will breathe life back into that building with initially 170 science jobs with just the company we're talking about, and they will fill a little under half of it. And then when we fill the rest of the building, there'll be closer to 400 high-paying jobs in that building, and that doesn't include the construction jobs that we're creating. And the final thing I'll say, Madam Comptroller, is that we have an agreement with Mr. Richardson and his team at SLDP that 10% of the $4 million will go to the investment fund for the city to be deployed in places like North St. Louis, South St. Louis, and other areas that they choose of highest need.
Are there any other comments regarding community benefit agreement? Any comments regarding agreements regarding job opportunities that possibly could impact SLPS students? Are there folks going into the schools or have programming that would cause students to become aware of job opportunities? Just any of those things. And
Yes.
I think there are, and maybe you want to give information about that.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Comptroller. We have an active set of programs to try to train individuals to get into tech jobs, which Cortex is centered to our role. For life science tech jobs, we've partnered with the St. Louis Community College to train individuals to work at the bench. Those jobs start at about $50,000 a year, and they're full benefit jobs and really long-lasting jobs. We also work in other areas of tech in partnership. We have partnered closely with as an example, the Urban League, with Pastor Andre and the Hub to identify students of need. We work with, I have conversations with Tony Cousins at the St. Louis Public Schools about a pipeline from SLPS students to help make sure that they're aware of these tech jobs. All of these training programs that I mentioned are free of charge to the learners. Cortex and our partners raise funds and deploy funds. For one example, we have a IT and a cyber tech training program in partnership with an organization called Perscolas. And those are either 10, 12, or 15-week programs, and they're free to the students that Cortex raise public and private money to offset those training costs.
Madam Comptroller, if I may also add to the dialogue here. As you know, Madam Comptroller, and the others perhaps know as well, I'm also a professor of law at Loyola University in Chicago. And one of the things that I do in that service is to assist developing companies in the Chicagoland area to prepare and organize their business plans. And in that connection, I have come to learn of a company that is going to, over the next 2 to 3 years, need space and a laboratory such as the one that's being created in the Cortex area. And I've already spoken to this particular client about the opportunity in St. Louis, and she's very excited about it. And she, again, is dealing with cutting edge technology and will need the space. So she is an example of the kind of people that and enterprises and innovative technology that we will have a chance to exploit and direct right to the city of St. Louis through the efforts of Cortex and its developers. So I think that that is another example of the economic impact that the Cortex development will bring and is bringing to the city of St. Louis.
Thank you for answering these questions, and hopefully these answers will help our community because they have written to us actually an email that we all received just before our meeting. I appreciate that. If there are other questions from the other members of this honorable board.
President Green, do you have any questions?
No, no questions.
Neither do I. So we are on agenda items 6 and 7 for approval. There's been a motion and it's been properly seconded. All those in favor of approving agenda item 6 and 7, please do so by saying aye. Ms. Shannon Davis, please call the roll.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Comptroller Green,
Aye.
President Green.
Aye.
All are in favor.
And with that, Madam Mayor, I just realized that when we did our motion on item number 10, we accepted the amendment, but I don't think we actually voted on amendment number 10. So I would like to go back and make a motion to approve agenda item number 10.
I
That is-
second.
That is correct. Thank you, President Green has been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Shannon Davis, please call the roll.
Mayor Jones,
Aye.
Comptroller Green,
Aye.
President Green.
Aye.
All are in favor.
Believe we have approved all of our agenda items. Is that correct? Ms. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there any additional business to discuss?
Madam Mayor, if I may at this time, give a report on the ARPA money. At
Please.
this time, I can report that obligating the $498 million in ARPA money, we are virtually at zero. Though we have contracts remaining on our desk, we believe those can and will be executed as obligated in a very timely manner, well before the December 31 deadline. And I want to take this time to thank my staff, my hardworking staff. Jason Fletcher is here, but everyone that worked with him in the comptroller's office, in the mayor's office, in the law department, and all across the city. There were departments after department that went their entire length to make sure that they helped and was a part of working together to get this done in a timely manner. So I just want to say thank you for all the hard work and happy holidays. We're a week away from a great holiday ahead for all of us. And just want to say that this is great news for our hardworking city employees.
Thank you for that. President Green, anything to discuss?
Not at this time.
I'd also like to echo the comptroller's sentiments and also give a special shout out to Jason Fletcher. I know that he has been working extremely hard given some of the circumstances he has had to overcome. And also want to especially shout out Nancy Cross in my office, as well as Grace Kyung and Jody and Navina for their hard work in working with all of our departments to make sure that we have all of the documentation necessary to submit to the comptroller's office to make sure that these contracts get obligated before the December 31st deadline. So thank you to everyone in your hard work. It is truly appreciated, and we wish you all a happy holidays as well. Anything additional to discuss?
Madam Mayor, thank you. And I also want to just say the law department went above and beyond. The leadership there is outstanding. So thank you to Sheena Hamilton. I know that Jason has thanked her earlier, but we want to also acknowledge that all of that hard work.
Yes.
Burning that midnight oil.
Yes, thank you, Sheena Hamilton and the law department. I am very happy that I appointed Sheena to this position and happy that she has joined the team. Again, thank you to everyone who had a part in this, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yay.
Aye. We are adjourned. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you.
Happy
You too.
holidays, everyone. And thank you, guys.
Thank you.